what they've done with FEMA is so bad. FEMA is a whole nother discussion because all it does is complicate everything. FEMA has not done their job for the last 4 years. I had FEMA working really well. We had hurricanes in Florida. We had Alabama, tornadoes. But unless you have certain types of leadership, it gets in the way. And FEMA is going to be a whole big discussion very shortly because I'd rather see the states take care of their own problems. If they have a tornado someplace, and let that state. Oklahoma is very competent. I love Oklahoma. 77 out of 77 districts, and that's never been done.
I think at the end there, he's talking about Oklahoma supporting him a lot or whatever. Who the hell cares? God, he's such a weird little person. But anyway, the important part there is that he is talking about ending FEMA, ending the federal capacity or interest in helping states deal with devastating natural disasters. And look, there's gonna be a lot of things that he throws out, and we're gonna have to have a constant discussion. Is this a thing that he actually means, or is he just trying to distract us? I would assume that this is going to be a hard sell, considering that the states that typically get hit the worst by these disasters are red states. I mean, telling Florida like, oh yeah, no, the next 100 hurricanes that hit you, you're on your own. I don't know why they'd be down for that, but who the hell knows? But he's saying there, FEMA was great under him, I guess because it did what he wanted. And if he didn't want to help out California with fires, or if he wanted to let Puerto Rico be absolutely destroyed by a hurricane, then he could just do that, and it's totally cool. And now he wants to end it. So one more thing that you could have counted on reliably for the federal government to do to help you out if you're hit by earthquakes or flooding or tornadoes or fires or whatever, hurricanes, terrible winter storms, maybe not in the near future. Francesca, what do you make of this?
Again, it's one thing that I'm not surprised, and I think he will do it. I think it will happen, and here's how it's gonna go down. He's gonna revoke FEMA funding, and then if there is a natural disaster, which is obviously a man-made disaster caused by fossil fuel companies and the ultra rich flying their private jets all over the place, leading to, again, climate change and climate chaos and erratic weather, all that. When it happens, each individual state will go begging Donald Trump and the federal government for assistance. That's how it's gonna work, and that's how he would like it. That way, he personally gets to decide whether he helps out Gavin Newsom, Ron DeSantis, whichever governor will, give him something in exchange, but he wants to hold the purse strings. He wants to have them come begging, and effectively what he's doing now with the federal budget in terms of enshrining the tax breaks and linking the budget to California wildfire relief aid is he's blackmailing the states. So he wants to be the mob boss. There should be no slush fund that says you get this automatically. What are you gonna do for me? That's how he wants it to work.
You are 100% right. I should have thought of that. You're 100. That's what it's gonna be, and I still think. Hopefully there will be enough red, state red governor pushback to not want to have to do that, because obviously they'd have a much easier chance getting it. They want, like, tax dollars are already divvied out in an incredibly unequal fashion. Blue states pay in more than they get, red states get more than they pay in. This will just accelerate that. I hope that this is too much, but yeah, you could be right. It's exactly the sort of petty strongman dictatorship that he'd like to run. He can punish blue states. He can, hell, if Gavin Newsom maybe has some terrible wildfires, don't give him any money. No matter what he promises, the state will be utterly decimated, and it hurts Gavin Newsom in his run for president or something.
Right, it's the same thing.
That would be his power then.
They're saying they're gonna threaten any state that is a sanctuary state or city that's a sanctuary city, obviously for undocumented immigrants. This is a perfect way to do that. All right, if you don't turn over these people to ICE, I'm going to withhold aid for you, which I think is a really interesting question for someone like Newsom, who I have massive critiques of from the left, to say, okay, rubber's hitting the road here. Now you actually, what are you gonna do about this? Are you gonna sell out undocumented people in order to get this money? You know what I mean? And I think that's a question. And so, I think it really does make I mean, I would say absolutely not no. Let's secede from the union, but that's just me. So I think it's a terrible question, but it's an important one.
Yeah, and so I guess, if I'm being Johnny 2.0 or whatever, I can be like, oh, well then, okay, we're gonna do that. It's gonna be terrible, and then AOC will be the one, deciding. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want. Well, then when she becomes president, then she also can. Oh, Florida, you got hit by a hurricane? Yeah, maybe we'll give you some money. I don't know. You're kind of anti-democratic. You're not taking climate change very seriously. I'm gonna need to see some change there. Maybe some protections for trans people. I don't want that to be how our system of government works. That's terrible. Nobody should want that. But what you just described, if he went on Fox News and said, this is what I'm gonna set up, they would absolutely cheer it.
And it's also like there's Republicans in California. There are many Republicans. There's millions of Republicans in California.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Do you this again? It's the same thing when we were breaking our brains talking about Gaza and the treatment of civilians, right? And the idea that just because they so-called voted for Hamas, they deserve to be murdered. Never mind the fact that so many of them, the children, did not vote for Hamas, were not old enough to vote for Hamas, but it was seen as okay to indiscriminately punish an entire group of people for the actions of a small amount. And we made the corollary of look, if you took red counties and you said, oh, because you voted for Trump and there's a Democratic administration, we're going to murder you, or it's okay to deny you aid, that would be wildly disgusting, right? I mean, that is the definition of political retribution, of ethnic cleansing. It's just, again, yes, that tribalism, we have to name it when really fascists do it.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?